Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are listening to me. Welcome to another episode of Wealth Building Conference. Tonight, we're going to be talking about medical professional retirement gap, how to build income without a pension. So, I want you to please sit down, grab your pen, and let's learn today. So, if you are a medical professional or if you have family who is a medical professionals, you can share this link with them. Let them come and learn on how to build retirement income without actually waiting for pension, because I understand that many medical professionals and business owners in Canada, they have to plan for their own pension. So it is very important for us to educate them on how to do that. Right. So if you are joining this program, as you are joining, just as a normal way of starting the program, I want you to please type your name and where you are joining from in the comment section. Please type your name and where you are joining from. So tonight's conversation is one of the most important financial discussions a medical professionals can have. And now, every single day you protect lives. Okay, you diagnose illness, you carry the weight of other people's emergency, but there is one crisis most medical professionals never diagnose early enough, which is the retirement gap. Okay, because unlike the public sector, unlike the government workers, unlike corporate employees, most medical professionals in Canada do not have a pension. And that is very, very worrisome. Okay. No guaranteed monthly income, no employer funded retirement plan, not built-in financial cushion for the futures. And here is a part no one ever talk about, right? The same problems who give so much, okay, the same people who give so much of themselves physically, emotionally, and professionally, they are often, reach age 55, 60, and 65. I'm still unsure if they can stop working. That is something that we need to look at. Like, imagine you work so hard and you are not even sure if you stop working, you can retire, with peace of mind. Not because they didn't work hard, okay, not because they did not earn enough, all right, but because no one ever showed them how to build income that lasts beyond their career. All right, so tonight that changed tonight, right? Tonight we're gonna go into unpack the real reason so many medical professionals risk outliving their money, right? And more importantly, how to fix it. So we'll talk about that. So, and we're going to look at how inflation quietly attacked retirement savings while relying on registered retirement savings plans alone is a losing strategy. And of course, how tax reduce your income without you noticing. Okay, the simple framework to build your own private pension, right? And how to create predictable lifelong income even without a traditional pension plan. By the end of this session, you will see that your retirement doesn't have to be uncertain, unpredictable, or stressful. You can build stability, you can build income, you can build a retirement that supports your lifestyle, not restricted. So tonight is not just information, it's transformation. Because the moment you understand how to structure your retirement properly, you go from hoping for a secure future. So settle in, grab a notepad, and let's dive in. The medical professionals retirement gap and how to build income without a pension. So I'm going to quickly pull up my slide. I will go into the presentation. So it's going to be an interactive session. If you have any question, I want you to please put it in on the comment section so that we can actually look into your questions at the end of the webinar. So once again, welcome. Right. So let's quickly go into the first slide. So this is the problem many medical professionals face. Okay, reliance on RRSP, TFSA, or savings loan. So I've seen many medical professionals. Anytime I'm talking to them, is that they tell, so I already have an RRSP, and I'm also saving. I have TFSA, I have some couple of savings. The reality is this: the RRSP has a room, the TFSA has a room. So there is maximum to which you can put money into this. If you put more than that, you're going to be penalized, right? So, and it is important for you to explore other strategies which is outside of this, of this, vehicle, right? Again, savings is not enough when it comes to retirement planning. If you put your money on savings, just like you are not really planning ahead. Because why? Inflation, consider inflation, right? So saving enough is not really, it's not enough for you to plan for retirement. Again, rising taxes reduce long-term income capacity. Because you fall under high income bracket, it means that the more you earn, the more tax you pay. So this is another problem that actually affects retirement planning for medical professionals. Extended work, many work longer than expected. So I've seen many medical professionals, they have to delay retirement. Because why? They have to save enough money. Because the reality is, it's kind of very tricky to look at how much you really need, when you retire. And this has to do with do your financial retirement audit check of how much exactly do I need. So many people are saving, so many people invest on RRSP, they have their TFSA, they even have other investment strategies. Probably they have real estate, they also put money on stocks and all of that. But the question now is that, have you done your audit to know how much exactly do I need to plan for my retirement? Again, retirement anxiety increasing across healthcare. Like it's this is a very big challenge. Not only medical professionals alone, even nurses as well, all the medical professionals. Okay, the question, the thing is that your income is strong, but your retirement structure is weak. And this is something that you have to look into. I'm going to be taking 10, I'm going to be doing retirement audit for 10 medical professionals in next month, which is December. Book a call with me to, so that I can walk you through on audit your retirement strategy and see which area can really help you to put up, to increase it or to bridge the gap, right? Because what we are trying to do here is that we just want to bridge the gap, right? How much do you have? Okay, what is left? Like, let's explore other strategies, for you to retire. So why medical professionals face a bigger gap? Number one, no employee pension, no employer pension. So you work for yourself. Many medical professionals, it's either you have your own clinic or you work in one clinic. And if you are doing that, it is your responsibility to plan for your retirement, right? So because you're considered as a business owner, so you need to plan for retirement. Number two, high income is equal to high taxes. I've said it many times that not how much you earn, but how much you can actually save. Like, I've seen many medical professionals, they earn so much money, but at the end of the day, how much can they actually save from taxes? It is very important, right? So burnout, disability, risk, unpredictable. Now, if you are a business owner, if you're a medical professional, right, your the ability to work to earn money is the most important asset you have, right? So think about it. If you cannot go to that clinic, right? It means that you don't make money. That is it, right? Now, how do you prevent that? Of course, the reason why you are planning for retirement is because you are healthy, is because you are still alive. Now, what if disability happen? What if critical illness happen? So you want to also make sure that you also cover that area, put up some strategies in place in order for you to to ensure that if anything happen, disability happen, critical illness happen, terminal illness happen, you are still secured. You have enough money to pay your mortgage, to also retire well. Okay, so minimal financial planning training. The reality is this, right? You go to medical school to study medicine, and whatever specialization you're practicing right now, you are not taught financial education. Even we that we are doing this right now, we have to go and learn about financial education. Nobody in university, they don't teach us how how to save money, how to plan for retirement. It is your responsibility to sit down, work with financial advisors that will help you to structure your retirement planning. So there is a lack of financial education, serious lack of financial educations among medical professionals. You're extremely intelligent. You have so much, you have gained so much experience, knowledge, but what about the aspect of financial education, right? Some feel that, oh, I can do it myself. Well, you can do it yourself. The reality is that you might not be able to understand the nitty-gritty of investment when it comes to putting money in the right vehicles that will give you proper return on investment. Okay, lifestyle creep, right? Spending versus long-term savings discipline. This is one thing that you have to be very careful of. Sometimes when there is increase in income, some of you just upgrade living. It's okay, like your income increases, you change your car, you change your house, but what about your retirement? Have you ever thought that, look, this money that I'm making right now is it's not going to be continuing like that, right? You should understand that at some point in your career, you need to sit down and audit yourself. Like, how much am I making? Can I continue making this money, right? You also need to consider the fact that the more you age, that power, that energy reduces, so it would impact you to make more money. So while you are actively working, you don't need to increase your lifestyle, you don't need to upgrade your living. So make sure you start planning for your retirement, right? You treat patients daily, but rarely have time to treat your own financial future. And this is very, very profound. Like, a lot of you are very, very busy. You go to clinic from morning till night, you're there, you're on call. What about your future? What about your financial future? You need to plan for that. What happened without a plan? This is what is going to happen without a plan, right? Number one, you work past 65, right? So many medical professionals delay retirement because of lack of retirement planning. Think about it, right? If you don't plan, right? If you don't plan early enough, chances is that you have to work more than the years you're supposed to, right? Again, lower retirement income than expected. Some of you retired, but do you have enough money to really enjoy your retirement? Like, have you really asked yourself, how much on monthly basis do I need if I stop working? Right now, for how long will I actually continue to enjoy this money? Will this money be sufficient enough to cover my retirement without necessarily working? Okay, heavy reliance on personal savings. This is when you rely solely on savings, and I've said it earlier. Savings alone cannot guarantee your retirement. You have to explore various strategies for retirement, which I'm going to show you, in the next slide. Okay, large tax losses, like combined, according to Canadian Medical Associations combine an average physician pay between 40 to 45% in taxes if your income is not structured properly. That's a very big problem there. So what are you doing to make sure that you optimize or you save as much as possible your income from taxes? Vulnerable to illness related income interruption. I've seen medical professionals because of disability couldn't work again. Unfortunately, this particular person does not have a critical illness in place. And you know what? See, the reason why you are planning for your retirement, I'm repeating this, is because you are healthy, right? Everything you are talking today, everything I'm talking today is because the reason why you are listening to me tonight is because you are still healthy, you are still working. Think about it. What if you cannot work? What if your insurability change tomorrow? Is it not important for you to put up a strong critical illness and disability insurance in such a way that if you're unable to work, you have enough money to take care of yourself? Because if you stop working, your bill will not stop, right? High income today does not equal financial freedom. I've seen many people make 6 figures income, yet they are not financially free. High income does not translate to financial freedom. 100%. Whether you're a medical professional or not, the reality is that high income does not translate to financial freedom. Have you ever imagined people making so much money, but at the end of the day, they cannot even account for it? Why? Because there is difference between making so much money and you being financially free. So financial intelligence is very important. Okay, this is the solution. Build your own pension. Build your own pension. Please put it on the comment chat. If you're a medical professional, build your own pension, right? Medical professional need self-created pension system. Number one, tax efficient accumulation. So it is not only to build pension, but in a tax efficient way. Many of you have strategies in place, but how efficient is your strategies when it comes to tax optimization? If you're buying so many, if you put money on other strategies, say for example, put your money on, let's say, real estate, or you buy stocks, you buy equity, and which is going to be subject to capital gains at the end of the day. Did you ever think about that? Okay, so this is going to minimize drain during growth phase. Like, you have been paying so much taxes. You pay tax on grocery, you pay tax virtually everything, right? Now, is it not important for you to sit down and say, hey, how do I actually plan for my retirement in a tax efficient way? Tax efficient way. Two, guarantee lifetime income. You must have a predictable lifetime income that once you stop working, right, you can start getting your retirement without any stress, without any hassle. Okay. 3, market protection, shield from volatility, right? So this is something that I do tell medical professionals. I understand a lot of you put so much money on real estate. You have other investment strategies, like some of you also buy, stocks, buy, different asset. But you need to put your money in a stable environment that is not going to be affected by market volatility. Life insurance can help you to do that. Telling you. So there's a particular life insurance that if you put your money there, whether the market is up or down, your investment is secured. And when it comes to retirement planning, you need a predictable income. Now, how do you do that? You want to operate in a tax-free environment, in a safe environment where your asset will not be subject to the forces of demand and supply that will not be going up and down. So you need a stable, predictable income with a market that is not subject to volatility. Again, payment, even if you stop working. See, once you stop working, you don't get money. But because of the fact that you make so much money, right? You feel that I still have time. I can do it anytime. And of course, that will give me guarantee my retirement? The answer is no, right? Now, think about it. Look at the inflation, right? It's very, very important because of the fact that you make so much money, you feel that inflation is going to, trust me, the time value of money, your $1,000 today, $1 today is not your $1 tomorrow. A lot of we have seen it. I remember when we came to this country. I know when we go to a grocery to buy stuff. I know what is happening today. We all know. So inflation is real. So how do you really plan your retirement in such a way that is also going to you factor in inflation? This is something that you really need to know. And guess what? Your accountant will not do that for you. Your accountant will not do that for you. Like sometimes when I present to people, I say, no, I'm going to talk to my accountant. Of course, go and talk to your accountant. But the reality is this, right? Your accountant will not plan for your retirement for you. It's your responsibility to sit down and plan your retirement. If no pension exists for you, you have to build one. You need to build one. These are the various tools to build a private pension. And guess what? You don't build your pension with one product. Number one, look at corporate owned life insurance policy. It could be like in any form of permanent life insurance policy that will shelter your growth, in a tax-free environment. Number two, register retirement saving plan stroke IPP, independent pension plan, right? Individual pension plan, extra room for incorporated physicians. No, I know some of you actually do salary and some of you do dividends, some do both, right? Depending on what you do. If you do salary, you pay yourself salary. Of course, you remit some money to CRA. Is a very, very, very powerful strategy to also plan for retirement. But guess what? It is not enough. It's not enough. You have to do it. You have to have strategies in place aside this. TFSA, tax-free savings account. This will, because you are TFSA means that you are investing after tax dollars. So whatever growth on those on what you put in is tax free, right? So it's another way to plan for retirement, of course, for emergency. But guess what? Like, how much is the room for TFSA? As of 2025, it's probably about $7,000. How much will that give you as a medical professional? It's not enough. You have to make sure that you plan, you have another strategies, in order for you to plan for retirement. There's also what you call immediate financing arrangement strategies. This is going to give you predictable income and also help you to build what you call a family bank. So smart medical professionals do that. If you want to learn more about that, you can book a call with me. I'm going to walk you through all these strategies. As I said, you cannot build your retirement on one single strategy. So you must have different at least have 5 different strategies. And what immediate financing arrangement will also do for you, we also help you to invest in other, things like real estate, like buying businesses. Like you put your money there, okay, you borrow against your money to buy businesses, to buy real estate. So you can see that you are actually using one stone to kill different birds. Like now you have insurance, you have options also to borrow or pull out money from this arrangement to buy businesses, to buy real estate, and it's in a tax efficient way. Again, annuity, right, is one of the important, especially index annuity. It's one of the amazing strategies for medical professionals to build wealth, because this will also edge against inflation, right? So a private pension is built with the right mix, not one product. So many of you, when you talk to them, say, hey, I have RSP, I have TFSA, I have life insurance policy. Fine. Do you actually combine those strategies? Are you sure you really optimize them? Do you do yearly retirement audit to know where I am right now? Okay, do I really need to change or diversify more, or I need to change my portfolio to make sure that I get the right strategies for me to plan for my retirement, right? These are the retirement income framework that I recommend for all the medical professionals. Number one, guaranteed income streams. You must have a strategies in place that will guarantee you streams of income, not one, streams of income, 4, 5, 6 different streams of income in a tax-free income bucket. Like, as you have your own, taxable, a bucket, like there are three ways in which you can plan for retirement. Is that you pay now. Pay now means that if you put your money on something like real estate, like stocks, like whatever, if you sell, you're going to pay gains, capital tax on the gains. All right. So number two, we have tax later, okay, which is tax deferred. That example of that is registered retirement saving plan. So you don't pay the tax right now, but anytime you start, taking money out from the bucket, you start paying the tax. The last one is tax free, which is insurance product. Okay. So whatever you put there, grow tax deferred, and you enjoy your money in a tax free environment. So you must have the three: tax now, tax later, and tax free. Very, very important, right? Tax deferred growth. I've explained that one before. Like the tax deferred means that registered retirement saving plan, you must have it. You must combine all of them together to plan for retirement. Again, you also need to have some form of legacy structure. Legacy structures means like, income, asset preservation. So you have something in place in such a way that if you pass, you have enough, enough money to cover whatever you have, right? So you also have a plan of how this asset is going to be distributed. The reality is this: if you don't have a plan in place, CRA have one for you, and it's always very, very expensive. Very, very expensive. So you must have your own plan. The cool thing is that when I'm actually helping medical professionals, we take care of all of this. It's not just only just help them to put up the pay tax right now, pay later, or don't pay at all. We also make sure that we put strategies in place that will protect your estate, your legacy. Like, your family, when you pass, your family have enough money. If you have any asset in place, it's not going to be subject to, like, CRA will not be going after those assets. We kind of make, arrangement in place in such a way that your asset is fully protected, right? Again, passive income cash flow. There must be some form of passive income that will be annual, that you also have in place to help you to plan for your retirement. It's very, very key. One of it is real estate. It's one of the way to make passive income. Life insurance cash value is also another way to also plan for passive income. It all depends on your how do you really want to enjoy your retirement. It's not just one street that it's not on one size that feed them all. We have to diagnose you. We have to do a retirement audit check to know what strategies do we really like, what approach are we going to use for you to plan for retirement. The reality is this: stability plus liquidity plus growth plus protection is equal to sustainable retirement, right? This is an example of a doctor that I just met recently. I met these doctors and I audit the retirement, and the next thing we did, it was just to make sure that we start with a tax sheltered strategies for him. Okay, we actually build this on his holding company. This is a real case study. I just, this is something I did this. I actually helped this medical professional like last year. We actually set up a holding company, and all the strategies was built on his holding company. And we actually put up a immediate financing arrangement on the holding company, right? It's more like you have your own family bank that will take care of your retirement, right? After the person must have maxed out his TFSA, we max out the RRSP, we now build, right, that bank on the holding company on a predictable income cash flow till as long as this person lives again. And we also make sure that it also take care of the estate, the legacy of that particular medical professional. We also ensure that this also minimize the corporate tax burden. Like, one of the things that I also want to open your eyes to is, how do you actually invest your retained earnings? So if you are not careful, right? If you're not careful, you use all the money you make in this country to pay taxes. So actually open this doctor side, say, hey, let's do it this way. And sincerely speaking, this year he has actually seen that in his income. Like, oh, this is massive, because you could see how much he's saving taxes and the growth on his family bank. Okay. Again, generate succession benefit. Now, one thing that I also want you to know is that it is not sufficient for you to say, hey, I'm planning for my retirement. What about succession planning for your family? Do you really have a plan in place for them such that even if I pass, my generations unborn will not even think of money? You also need to think that. You also need to think about that. That's what we call asset preservation and asset protection. How well did you preserve that asset in such a way that the generations unborn will have access to that money without any problem? Predictable income from age 60. We actually planned for this particular doctor from, because he said, look, I want to retire as early as possible in my life, and we actually put it for age 60. We put the family bank there and we put an arrangement on, and every year we start buying businesses for this particular doctor. So think about it. We have maxed out the TFSA, we have maxed out the RRSP, we have put the money in the family bank that will help him to retire well. We also have strategies in place in such a way that we buy businesses, franchising every year, because we have professionals, we have CPA, we have lawyers, we have real estate professionals, we have mortgage advisors, we have all these professionals, so that they can help these medical professionals to buy businesses. So it's massive, and the guy was extremely happy. Again, so protect families and business simultaneously. So what you have been able to do right now is that we protect the family in case life is short, and of course, we also make sure that we also protect the business. Don't forget that we actually put these strategies on the holding company. So it's actually safe from the creditor. It's also safe from the litigation. That is the strategy. So when you are planning for all of this, there are so many things to look into that many advisors out there don't know how to do it. With my team, we have these strategies in place to ensure that we help you to plan for your retirement. These are the biggest mistakes many professionals make. All right. Number one, they save after tax. Don't forget that we are not waiting until this particular doctors file the tax and save. We actually plan, because why? The reality is this: tax is number one biggest destroyers of wealth. If you don't know how to manage your tax, you cannot build wealth. So we don't wait for tax to plan, right? We actually plan, and you're going to pay the tax anyway, right? So if you are going to pay tax compulsorily, it is mandatory that you also plan for your retirement. So we don't wait until this person pay tax. We plan, we save after, we save before this person pay the tax, right? Again, we don't actually do RRSP alone. So think about it, right? We are putting the RRSP, we have maxed out the RRSP room, okay? But we are not relying solely on that. A lot of medical professionals, they rely solely on RRSP. Oh, I have RRSP and that is enough for me, to do my retirement. Delay, waiting too long to start. Oh, I'm going to talk to my accountant and I'll get back to you. And at the end of the year goes 6 months, 5 months, they didn't get back. And the more you delay your retirement, the more risky for you. Because why? One day you cannot buy those time back again. So the best is to start early enough. No inflation plan, ignoring inflation or longevity. Inflation is one of the very things that will affect your retirement. Because you are making so much money right now, you also need to think about inflation, right? The rising cost of goods and services is still there. So you need to know that when you are not working, right, will your money be sufficient enough to to take care of your retirement? No protection. This is very another biggest problem: missing disability or illness coverage. Honestly speaking, the very first thing you must do as a medical professional is to have a disability and critical illness in place. The reason is because you are the only asset that need to be protected. The reason why we are talking about retirement is because you are working. What if you cannot work again, right? What if insurability change? You need to understand that. Right? So before you do anything, the foundation is like you must have a life insurance, at least other life insurance with critical illness and disability insurance. Because why? If you cannot work, what is going to happen? The income stops, like you start struggling again. Ignoring corporate tax strategies. Like, seriously speaking, as we are doing this, we also have plan in place to make sure that we plan along with the CPA, right? We have group of professionals, so they will check your financial report. If you have so much liability, let's say you are owing CRA, we're going to put strategies in place to make sure that you clear that up, because we don't want you to start paying interest on the money you owe CRA. And of course, if you have any other form of liability, we make sure that we look into that, because why? We have professionals that look into that. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that don't ignore taxes. As you are making the money, set aside some portion of your income on monthly basis to pay the tax. Okay, because at the end of the day, by the time you file your tax, you realize that you don't have money and you don't want to owe CRA, you don't want to fall into their trap. So it's very important that you take care of all of this. A strong income must be matched with strong retirement structure. The more money you make, the more you plan for retirement. It's very, very important. We are saying this today because why? We have seen many occasions where people retired, especially medical professionals, and they are struggling financially. Okay. The key takeaway today is that most medical professionals have no pension, right? That is very, very real. That is the reality. So you have to make sure that you have one for yourself. Retirement gap grows each year. Each year you delay, that's here loses. So you don't want that to happen to you. So everybody have a gap, right? But do you really understand the gap? Okay. Have you ever sit down with your advisors to say, hey, I need to do my retirement planning audit check to know what areas do I need to focus on right now? Do I need to diversify my portfolio? Do I need to focus on this area? What do I need to do? You can build a private tax efficient pension, right? You can build tax efficient pension. You have to sit down with your advisor to help you to look into this. Use a mix of insurance, investment, and tax strategies to build your retirement. If your retirement does not incorporate these three strategies, you are not building right retirement strategies. Okay. You must make sure that these three things must actually be part of your retirement plan. And again, start early, structure properly, and protect your income. As I said, I'm going to conclude by I'm going to take 10 retirement audits this December. If you want to do that, please scan my QR code and book a call. It's free, right? It's free. I just want to audit to help you to check to review what you have before, right? If there is need for you to to change it, or to a little bit of uh, fix it, I'm going to tell you what you need to do, and you can go back to your advisors to do that for you. It's free. Just 10 retirement audit check for this December. So once again, thank you so much for your time tonight. If you have any question, we're going to quickly look into that. Any question? Any question? Any question? Thank you so much for your time tonight. We've really learned a lot tonight. Okay, so if there is no question, next week is another time we're going to be looking at. On Friday we do have a webinar for life insurance advisors, and on Saturday we do have for a medical professional. Please try as much as possible to join. Let's learn. All these things that we're sharing is based on my experience. I've seen many people, especially high income earner, they earn so much money, but they have nothing to show for it. Again, it's not something that is really, really, it's not good. We have to, sit down and plan for our retirement. So on behalf of Wealth Building conference team, so thank you so much for joining tonight. See you next week, same time. Bye for now. Good night, everyone.